Hey everyone, Will here from Mature Minded Gamers, and today we're going to be doing an in-depth look at Bodvar for Brawlhalla, the card game. This one is from Maestro Media and Flyos, with licensing from Ubisoft, and designed by Manuel Rozoy. Just want to give a shout out to them for helping sponsor this video. Alright, so let's dive right into Bodvar, the Mighty Warrior. Now, he's awesome. He's my boy. He is definitely a character that is great at manipulating the battlefield, controlling where your opponent is, and then really just inflicting that nasty knockback that is, really the way to win, right? But not only is he great at that, he's also great at actually dealing the damage when he needs to deal the damage. Now, I want to go over the card breakdown of each of the decks. Now, in each deck, there are 20 cards, okay? Now, there are 4 1s in the deck, 4 2s, 4 3s, 4 4s, 4 5s. Where they differ is for the ability cards. There are 3 1s, 3 2s, 3 3s, 2 4s, and 2 5s, where these ones here do not have any special skills, but again, they do still have the knockback numbers on them. Each of the legends also has a unique special legend power, as well as a double-sided weapon card that is unique on each side, which really differentiate each of the characters. Where Bodvar excels, and why I really love Bodvar himself is a couple different things. One, I really love his weapon card that allows you, even if the heavy attack is blocked, it still allows that knockback of 1 space, making sure that your opponents are in the position you want them to be in. One of the other cards that I really like for him is called Power Smash. If you win the combat as the attacker, inflict 1 additional knockback. And this could be a way to really push the opponent past that KO line, right? So the battlefield, if you remember, is a grid, right? And there's not that many spaces across or up where 1 plus 1 plus the 2 if they're on the red, that's 4 spaces. I mean, and a lot of times that's enough to knock out the character and take them out. When you think about some of the other 5s, right? The +2 and the 5, your opponent doesn't always think as far as like, oh man, the big attack is the 4. This is just as powerful, right, as the 5. So when you think about the 5 plus the 2, well, this is really 4 plus 2, because if you win as the combat as the attacker, you inflict that additional knockback. So really, this is a 4 plus 2, okay? So these are just as powerful of that knockback as this, and especially if your opponent has already played some of their 4s, trying to block some heavy attacks that you've played, or cards that maybe you've made them discard with, like Boost Drain. So Boost Drain here is a 1, right? But during light combat, discard the top card of your opponent's deck and add its value to Boost Drain. So you're manipulating their deck by making them discard cards. I mean, you remember if they deck on their can't draw any cards, they're going to take some extra damage. I mean, you can't be killed if you take an extra damage when you're already in red. That's not way to lose, but if you get knocked past that KO line, then of course you are, right? So, I mean, it's absolutely nasty. You've got some abilities like Minded Hand. After move, pick a card at random from an opponent's hand, look at it, and then return it to its owner's hand. So knowing what they've got in their hand, knowing when to attack, knowing where to attack, being in that right position is crucial for winning at Bodvar, because, again, positioning is key in this game. You might think as far as like, okay, we've got this small grid and we're going to be moving around. Well, it's easy to knock people back. It sometimes is quite difficult. And knowing what to block with, when to block with it, can be the difference between loss and defeat. When we look at these 3s, for example, we got Limit Response, we got Battle Reward. Limit Response is their opponent can only play 1 card after Limit Response in conjunction with a light attack. After combat, draw a card. If you win the combat, draw 2 cards instead. Notice this doesn't say as the attacker. So if you successfully block using this card, whether it be in heavy, whether it be in light combat, doesn't matter, and you win, you're going to draw 2 cards. Fantastic at getting more cards into your hand, dealing that damage. Recall Halla. After combat, if you win the combat, choose a card from your discard pile, return it to your hand. Again, doesn't say as the attacker. It just says if you win the combat. Wow, right? So you've had a 5 that you've played in the past, or one of these 5s you've played in the past, and it's in your discard pile. Using this to get one of those 5s back, which your opponent can't necessarily do that depending on their character. I mean, this is a game changer, making you way more powerful. Or heck, you want one of those nasty little 4s that you've had your opponent waste from other attacks you've done. His light combat ability of being able to, on light combat from his legend power, is placing the first card of light combat face down. You know, making your opponent guess on what's coming or what you've played, because then if you happen to be winning after that first round of combat, you can essentially then just pass. Combat ends immediately, and you won the combat dealing that damage. Bodvar is super, super tricky to play against because he is a manipulating little turd. He's amazing. Broadsword, after light combat, Bodvar can discard one of his opponent's cards, value 1 or 2. Changing again that you're going to deal the damage when you need to deal the damage. I can't say enough about how awesome this character is and how excited I am for everyone to get this guy to the table and play as him. Because I think if you like controlling your opponent, if you like pushing people around the board and making sure that they're where you want them, when you want them, Bodvar is your character. So, all right, everybody, this has been Will from Mature Minded Gamers talking about Brawlhalla the card game, doing an in-depth look to Bodvar, the Mighty Warrior. Be sure to check out all of our other great content on MatureMindedGamers.com. We do video games, board games, and so much more. So until next time, everyone stay safe and take care.